Welcome everybody to another episode of Books and Betches, not to be confused with Books and
Gargoyles.
I'm Kristen, and with me I have
Gargoyle Erica.
Just Maria.
Okay. This is a book podcast. We swear, we spoil, we talk about sex, and we suck at all of it. We're going into Halloween season, spooky season.
Spooky.
My favorite time of year.
You know what always it lives rent free in my mind? Remember that SNL skit with Tom Hanks, and he was like Jack Skeleton or whatever, or not Jack Skeleton, but he had the skeleton suit on, and everyone wore it for Halloween.
No.
And
I do remember the skeleton suit.
Spooky skeletons. And it was on the elevator.
Is that where that
and
song's
every
from?
time, yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought that
And
was
every
just
time,
some TikTok thing again.
No, it was SNL.
That's interesting. I wore my bat sweater for the podcast today. It has
Advice from a bat. What does it say on it?
Oh, there's some really good advice.
Erica, read it. I can't read it from
Advice from a bat.
here. Oh, trust
your senses. Spend time hanging out with your friends.
Don't be afraid of the dark.
Get a grip. Enjoy the nightlife. Sometimes you just gotta wing it.
Guano happens.
Isn't this great? I stole this from my mom, so it's mine now. I love it. Here we go.
Very sweet.
Bats, baby. Okay, spooky season.
Did you know that if you wake up with a bat in your room, you need to get a rabies shot?
I mean, that checks out.
Did you know? Did you know? I mean, no. This is gonna save lives.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
If you get rabies, you die.
No.
There's no cure for rabies.
Well, yeah, no, you can't get rabies, but you can.
You can get rabies.
Well, I mean, what I'm saying is you need to get the rabies shot.
If you get rabies, you die.
But can't you, if you get bit by something and you go to the doctor and they're like, this thing might have rabies,
they
give you the shot?
You have like a window.
Okay, there's a window. Thank you.
But if you're like, bat wakes up, or you wake up, you and the bat hanging out in the room, and you go, oh, there's a bat here. And then you were like, fuck it, I'm not going to do it. And that bat ends up getting rabies and bit you at some point. And now you have rabies, you die. There's nothing they can do.
I feel like you would know.
Rabies is 100% death rate.
Okay, so the book that we're reading this week.
This is going to save lives.
This book.
Get a shot.
Is probably the dumbest title that you're going to hear.
Getting It On With Gargoyles?
Yes. The book
by Hazel Mack.
Erica presented us with this book, and she said, let's read Getting It On With Gargoyles.
Yeah.
And I said, no. But we did anyway.
No. We all...
Not for nothing, we also watched Halloween Town. So
That's 100 times better than Getting On With Gargoyles.
Well,
it was
Halloween
the
Town,
same,
it
was
it's
written
same
in the
premise.
same font.
It's the same premise. Literally,
it's the same premise.
With the mayor going bad, but they we need to like get into this. Let's get into
I don't
this.
like that you did that just now.
Or not the mayor going bad. It was more the
I don't like
we
that
want
you just
humans.
Equated one of my favorite movies.
It's the
to this
exact
book.
same reason that they're bad in this book.
I understand.
We don't. Let's not get into it. Let's do the 60-second.
Who's doing it?
Erica.
Fuck yeah.
Erica's definitely doing Getting On With Gargoyles.
Can I just like read the plot again?
You're the,
No, that's not fair. That's not how this goes.
I don't
When did you
remember.
read this book?
Oh, like a month ago.
Okay,
That's not how
Hold on, let me just remind myself.
No,
that's not how this goes.
I got a whole alien book wrong once. Okay, let me get the timer out.
You're doing it? Okay,
I'll just recite the plot of Halloween Town.
Don't. Because it's not.
If you're new to this podcast, we do this thing where we attempt to explain an entire plot summary of a book in 60 seconds or less. This week, Erica's going to do Getting It On With Gargoyles. And she doesn't remember the plot, so let's see how it goes. Here we go, Erica. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, there's 3 sisters, and they get lost. They're trying to take a trip to a town, but like they can't find it, but it's on a map, and they're trying to find it. And then they stop at a convenience store, and there's a dude there, and he tries to direct them. They go and they stay at this inn. And the town is actually like a secret town of magical beings. And then it's supposed to be protected and nobody that's not magical can't enter it. I think they're witches. I forget. They're all different types of witches.
I forget.
And they find this out.
30 seconds.
But there's something attacking the town and they don't know what it is, but it shouldn't be able to get in. And the dude that they met at the thing is...
Yes, she is. Keep going.
Is I don't know. There's a bad person that's trying to get into the town,
10
and
seconds.
the witches are trying. Now that they know what their powers are, they're trying to protect the town.
5,
and
4,
there's some other
6.
shit that happens.
Dude, no.
She's
The whole
no,
point
she
of
did
it was
great.
the romance between the two main characters.
Yeah,
First
but
of
I
all,
love
it
that
didn't
she
mention
just-
it at all.
That's fine.
Second of all, they know exactly what it is. It's the Thralls and Wesley or whatever the fuck.
For
that guy's
somebody who
name
didn't
is.
remember exactly all the details, I read it a month ago.
She did great. This is
Like
like
giving her too much credit.
That was so good.
Rude.
It wasn't bad. You gave us a starting point for the first time ever.
I was worried if I got into
Like,
the romance.
She got into like actual like.
I think that was
the conflict of the whole thing.
I mean, it's pretty simple, right? There's a fake town, or
It's not fake.
Okay, there's another town, Halloween
fictional-
town.
The parallels are
It's called
uncanny.
Ever. I don't like
Sorry,
that it's called Ever.
Ever.
It. You know what it is? Kind of. What's it called? What's the fucking
I don't know.
series that you always bring up?
Mick?
No, the other one.
Once Upon a Time?
Yeah.
Oh, the one, I didn't even relate this
It's like
to
Once Upon a Time plus
Halloween Town.
Halloween Town.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, so what is the main character's name? Thea?
Thea and then her other two sisters.
Her other two sisters, which
My-
they relate to Hocus Pocus all the time, and it's annoying.
So
Three
let's
sisters.
let's get into what I don't like.
The Power of Three.
They could have done that. That would have been better than the Sanderson sisters
Yeah, why'd they do the Sanderson sisters?
because they're fucking annoying. So they at least 6 times in the book it's mentioned how like they call them they're triplets, by the way, and they call themselves the Sanderson sisters.
It's
and
Thea,
each one,
Morgan, and Ren.
yeah, I think good job.
I read it this morning. I finished it this morning.
Oh yeah, Ren, Morgan, and Thea.
My new niece is named Thea.
yeah, you
Oh, I
said
like that
she was
name.
born okay.
I really like
Oh,
that
good.
name.
I was worried.
So Thea, Morgan, and Ren, like you said, actually you did point this out, was they had a map.
Mhm.
And it was kind of leading them to this town, though
Yep.
they didn't know that. And they stop at a
I think the
convenience
map
store.
was enchanted.
Yeah, I was enchanted by the mayor.
But when they stop at the convenience store, there's this really sexy man, right? You didn't even mention gargoyles. But anyway, there's this really sexy man that runs the convenience store, Shepherd.
Shepherd.
I
And
love that name for a dude.
me too, actually. That's not bad. So Shepherd,
I don't know.
immediately she's like, this dude is fucking hot.
Every time insta lust, I can't.
Of course. I just want to get to
That's
the gargoyle.
how life is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
In the slightest, it is not.
It's not.
It's not. Did you
Even
have
a-
insta lust with John immediately?
Have you never seen a dude at a store and been like, "Wow"? He's
Oh
super
yeah, but I
hot?
would never
yeah,
just
but-
go back to
But
his
that you
house.
just keep going with your life most times.
I know,
This-
but that's
the
why
in-
this is a romance, because this doesn't fucking happen.
That's a good point.
That's like what you want
So
to
then why
happen.
did you say it
That's a good
happens
point.
all the time? Are you saying
No,
in
I'm
books?
saying like you see hot people all the time.
Oh yeah,
and
all
you
day.
wish
all day.
that they would come up to you and be like, "Hey,
Sup?
you want to go on
I'm
a
a
date?"
gargoyle, and I look like a
Date?
fucking weirdo.
And you're
You
my
are-
mate.
y'all are lying to yourself if you've never seen somebody on a train or in public,
All day.
and you've
Of
wished
course.
that they came up to you and was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, you're hot.
Pre-Mike,
I'm
yeah.
hot. Let's go on a date."
That'd be great, but it does not.
Pre-Mike,
Exactly.
I had
so
those
that's
feelings.
why we're in a fictional world where fictional things happen.
Okay.
And that happens.
I want to get to the part that I've been wanting to talk about.
I know
where
I'm right. It's
they-
fine. We can move on.
Listen,
You're right. You're right.
I know.
they get to this inn. It doesn't take very long for
it's
Shepherd.
a cool inn. It's a cute inn. It's fun.
It doesn't take very long for Shepherd and them to like introduce themselves as actual monsters.
12
Turns
hours, not even.
out Shepherd's a gargoyle. Can we please
I
talk
actually
about the
like
gargoyles?
that they didn't like prolong that.
Me too. I did too. I will say that. That's the
'Cause
one
that-
point that I gave it.
That could have been annoying for a
I
while.
think it's hilarious that once they get told that they're living in a town full of not living, but they're visiting a town full of monsters. It's like, here's your welcome packet. Be sure to
I
read
think that's
it,
hilarious.
so you
forgot
can
about
figure
the
out. So
welcome packet.
this welcome packet will answer most of your questions. But
They
if
got
not,
orientation.
They
I
have
think it was- I
orientation
think
week
that
for
was
monsters.
fun.
I thought that was interesting, but I thought it was like kind of funny how they've only been here 24 hours, and they keep saying, "Well, make sure you read the packet."
And then they communicate with comms
With fucking
that are like,
walkie-talkies.
yeah, what?
I love that.
No way you
No,
liked that.
no, because
there's
when they
no
started-
way.
So
When they
funny.
started
It's so
sexting-
stupid.
Why?
When
It
they
could've
started
been cooler.
sexting, be like, "So what do you wear?" It's like, dude.
I was like, oh, now we're in a fucking
I think
like
that was like the
007
funny, like,
is now involved in this.
Like, so, you wearing panties or not, babe? You coming over later?
I thought it was funny. I thought that was
It's
I just-
funny, but it's,
funny.
stupid.
I couldn't take the romance.
we talk
seriously
we
at that
talk
point then.
about we talk about like originality of things and
That
like
wasn't that original though.
where have you seen it before?
Okay, fine. You're right. It's not in this world, but it's like, couldn't you create a new system? Like, why is it
That's
gotta
a new
be?
system.
People have used comms in the past, or just watch any 007 movie
I
where the
just thought-
hologram comes
I
out of
just
somebody's
thought it was
watch. Shut the
interesting
fuck
that
up.
that's how they could have just.
What,
actually
what
done
about so the
monsters.
houses have their own
That was cool.
personality too.
I
Love
love when a
that.
house personality.
So
I
the
love
house
when
has
a
its
house
own personality and it does
Again,
shit to
pulling
you.
from monsters. You know how you do this with every book that we read? This is pulling from this. This is pulling
Monsters,
from
Inc?
that. Halloween Town.
Are you
the-
saying Monsters Inc?
No, the Monster House. What is it? Is that what it's called? Monster
Smart
House?
House?
No, the kid that it's an animation. He walks by the house and it like eats people.
Oh, is that a Nickelodeon show?
No, it's a movie from Tim
I think it's
Burton.
called Monster House. Yeah.
Yeah, Monster.
Oh.
I don't know if
Yeah.
it's Tim Burton, but it's Monster
I
House.
remember. Yes. It's like a big brown
I mean,
house.
houses with personality is not like an original thing.
I'm just saying, neither are comms where a hologram comes up. You could watch that in fucking
I thought
Star
the
Wars.
houses having personality was fun.
Okay, me too. But the orientation was a little bit ridiculous. How do we feel about, like I said, he's a gargoyle. I pictured the most ugliest,
I did not.
really?
I
Because the
think
way
it's
they
hot.
described him was
Hold on,
disgusting.
Hold on.
Gargoyles are hot.
No, he described a gargoyle as gross.
I'm
and
here for gargoyles.
And he was a gargoyle the whole book. He was
So-
in his form the whole
So
book.
for those of you who are born in the 90s,
You see, you can't relate
Yeah.
it to this, though.
I do. This is exactly
How do
what I
you
thought
not?
of first.
Let me see. I don't even know. Is it?
I thought of the gargoyle from Gargoyles. Oh,
That's
don't show me that.
It's a cartoon. Do you think that's the Hulk?
This guy.
the
This
bi-
guy.
the big dude.
That's
Yeah.
the fucking Hulk.
That's him though. Literally him with the wings, 3 fingers.
That's not hot to me.
I'm just saying that's what I envisioned first.
Same, and I didn't like it.
I'm not saying it's great. I'm just saying that's what I envisioned.
I mean,
Yeah.
I envisioned the cover of it.
Like look
The
at him.
cover,
I wonder where this
he was
inspiration came from.
not-
Maybe this show.
I honestly think it might.
He
be.
wasn't an Uggo on the cover.
I didn't
Let me
even
see.
look at the cover.
I did not picture him like that. I pictured him more like a lumberjack.
Yeah,
there was
more
another
burly.
one.
That
she
gives me like
posted.
New York, like Wall Street dude.
Yeah. What? Oh, okay. So this takes place in Massachusetts. I did write a note because it made me really mad that they wrote this in, and it says, and definitely not in Massachusetts, where the
Wow.
winter wind is practically a weapon when it whips against you. It's not that bad.
They were on the coast.
It's
though.
not that bad.
They're from New York too, so it's like you've
They're on
had
the
wind. The
coast.
wind pockets
They
in,
weren't on
in
the
the city.
Yeah, they were. They were near Salem.
Are you sure? I don't know. It just seemed a little dramatic for the New England.
They were on the. They were on the North Shore.
So anyway, they're in this town, and like you said, so she's falling in love with Shepard because she's his mate. Sick of mates, but that's what it always is.
I at 14% words, I wrote it down. He said, "Mine, mate, protect," and I was like, "Say what now?" It just met her.
I hate that part of like maids.
It's just like
I do,
just
and I
met
have
her.
to. I have to remove it from my mind every time I
Especially
read it. I
when
hate it. I hate
Shepard's
it.
brother, another gargoyle, he had a mate and she left him. So
It
you
was
have
not a fated mate. It was just a
but
mate.
it's a mate though. You didn't tell me it was fated or not. You just said mate. So I'm thinking all mates are the same in this world.
Yeah, good
So-
point.
It was a little
So then
unclear.
if you've seen your own brother have a mate that he's lost, you can't just assume.
Yeah,
You meet this chick, be like, that's my mate. She mine for life now. That's not how this goes.
yeah, true.
Why? Because he doesn't want to carry around baggage that isn't his.
No, but you can't just automatically assume that she would want you back.
That's true.
But they had.
She has a
some-
choice too. Women's rights.
Amen. Power. Okay, so their mate like stuff, whatever, is one thing, but then there is these bad guys, right? That are
The
they're called
thralls.
thralls. And there's this other character, Catherine, who is Shepard's like bestie, basically, and she's kind of helping these girls come into their own as witches. And her mate in the past, which was Wesley, I want to say his name is,
Yeah.
kind of like went
warlock.
crazy and brought all of the thralls in. So he's on this other side of this, like, what do we call it? Protection.
A force field.
Yeah, it's like a force field essentially, and Shepard is one of the ones to help, and then the
keeper.
keeper. They're the ones that like keep the thing
He
safe.
keeps things safe. that
Yeah.
keeper.
I like, and then there's like a little political system on the side, but they don't really go too deep into that because they're like,
The
It's
Haven.
not this type of book.
They're like,
But they're like, there is one. There
It's there,
is
it
something.
happened.
don't ask questions.
it's called the Haven. It's like their government
I
system.
like that they kept it eye level.
No, I did too. I was gonna say
'Cause I
I'm
didn't
glad we
want
didn't.
that.
It wasn't like something it was should not have been.
But that's
It's a silly,
that's how
goofy
you-
book.
But that's how you give a book depth without actually having to get into it.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're right. It's on surface level, it's a silly, goofy book. I shouldn't have went to, but I had just read some other books that we'll talk about later this month.
I don't. You know how we always.
I
mention
wasn't in the
this?
right mindset.
We always mention this. Like, the mindset you're in makes a big difference for the book you're reading. I think my mindset was not in.
You weren't
I
here
wasn't
for
in the-
whimsical.
I wasn't
wasn't
ready.
in the silly, goofy mood.
I wasn't ready for another tale, Erica. I'm done with the tales. I
don't
needed
know
a
what it is
break.
with the tails.
I didn't like his claws.
Yeah, let's talk about the
So-
sex.
No,
Should we talk about the
no,
sex?
not his hands. his wings.
Yeah.
He fucking grabs shit with his wing talons.
He does.
I think I highlighted
He
at
moves
some
her
point.
legs aside at one point with the wings.
With the fucking wings.
I mean, if you're gonna do it,
I'm saying.
See,
and
my
then cover
wings,
them.
my
I like
wings
that.
wide and grab a wrist in each claw.
Why does his
If
wings
you-
have claws?
if you aren't,
Why do his wings
if you
have
aren't
claws?
utilizing every aspect of your body during the smeshy schmime.
Oh, I do have a description of his dick.
Smeshy times?
Smeshy.
Do I have a description of his dick? Was that this book? Yes. Okay. Do we want the description of his peen?
Sure, we
I'll
do.
give you the
Rock
whole
hard.
description of his
Okay.
peen. Would you fuck this? That's
Oh, boy.
That's the game.
Ooh, fun
it's,
game.
It's
like that.
thick and veined with more of a pointed head than a human would have. And fuck me, at its root, just below his abdomen, is an extra bit.
Someone read Ice Planet
Always,
Barbarians.
always
Wait,
an extra bit.
It's a small flat plate that pokes out parallel to his dick, the same width as the shaft, but only a few inches long. I stroke it so. Oh, we got that's that part. So she asks, like, "What is this for?" And he
Yep.
says, "For you to
I got
rub your
that.
clit.
I also have it.
It can
highlighted.
remain outside or slide inside." And then this part right here. This is in the middle of him getting off. He goes, "It feels so good, whatever." It vibrates. So very similar to,
Ice Planet.
but they
They don't vibrate. No,
Well, they do
their
hum.
chest vibrates.
Oh, that's right.
The queen.
Theirs is more just like a
So,
nub.
welcome to the game. Would you fuck that dick?
Is that a new segment?
Yeah,
Ooh, I like that.
right? We just
the,
explain every
dick.
the pointiness
Yeah,
of it
that
reminds
scared
me of a vampire steak. Like, you know, when you stab him in the
See, I was thinking more of like a spade.
Same.
Oh,
Yeah, more like
that's
a.
what the tail reminds me of. A spade.
Oh, true. Oh yeah, keep in mind he has a tail that goes in the butt.
Because they always do.
If you want it to.
If you wanted to.
He's actually like a good guy.
Yeah, Shepard's fine. There's nothing wrong with him.
I just love how they're like so basic and vanilla on surface, but then you get him in the bedroom and like, oh, I'm gonna fucking slap your pussy and like do this.
I
where did this
that
come
was
from?
one of my qualms, because remember, we're in a silly, goofy time.
Yeah.
Right? And
Where
then
did the sex was a little
Why did
and
we
then
get
all
so
of a sudden,
The
this
sex is
man
a little kink.
who's been kind,
charming,
charming, generous, a gentleman, right? All of a sudden is straight up like, I'm gonna make you scream. You're gonna call me daddy. Like,
I'm gonna
it's
hurt you a little.
It was a little jarring.
I'm like, it doesn't make sense.
That really.
it was a little jarring. It was
Yeah.
if I would be lying if I didn't think of that while I recommended it, because I wanted
This
you
reaction,
to be
upset.
I feel like a lot
unsteady.
I'm unsettled.
of books are like that.
Unsteady,
Though.
unsettled.
I feel like we get that all the time. It's so contradicting in a lot of these.
So I have a
Yeah.
line that
I
thought
think this
was
book
funny.
actually would have done really well, even with
keep it
like a
cozy.
single scene of sex and then
that's it.
closed door.
Yeah, I think this did not.
I don't
need-
think this
I didn't
needed
think you would ever
sex.
say that. I've never
No,
thought
the way
you would
that it
say
did.
Yeah.
Look, so the other book we were talking about, the Secret Society Witches one,
Yeah.
it's should have been like that.
I agree.
Whereas like that had
Yeah.
its romance,
Yeah.
but it wasn't extra. It wasn't crazy. It was enough to like wet your whistle, I guess, and keep going. This one felt like it was two different books at once, trying to be two different things at once, and it didn't work for me.
Yeah, I totally
And
agree.
I also feel like she's a little bit of a pick me at points. So
yeah.
she says, as long as you don't call me a good girl. I feel like that's so overplayed. It seems like every dude in the world got the memo that women love that. I'm over it, to be frank. And I'm like, not like other girls much.
What? Yeah, I would love to be called a good girl over. Hey, bitch, get on
Yeah.
my knee. I'm
Little slut.
gonna stick my tail in your ass. Like what?
I do think good girl is overused.
Do you?
Sure, but like,
But
I don't
that-
think
I
we've
think
read
that-
any. I don't think we've read a single one where
No,
they've
no, no,
been
but I
haven't
kind.
had a good
I
girl
don't.
yet.
I think good girl's overused in like social media,
Oh yeah, for sure.
and then I think that is pick me from the author.
I mean, I'm not going to relate the author to that.
Okay, so
But to write that, because now
Yeah.
you're vocalizing that you recognize that.
Yeah. I did think
That's
that
a-
I slapped it on my e-reader so fast. Like, I get it. You're written by a reader.
oh my god, I'm so sick. That's the thing of all these books like blend together. I even highlighted the part where it's like, I'm curious how he can wear wings but still be wearing a shirt, which took me back to the other one.
Bargainer.
So I literally put a quote and I said, my god, all of these books just blend together. It's mind numbing. I think that out of the 300 books that you read a year, at least 280 of them are exactly the fucking
What did
same.
you think? What did you think about how?
And you know what? It's your comfort zone, and I love it. it, but if you morph them all together, it would be
The
one
same thing.
book called This Is for Erica.
What did you think about how his clothes are all like seamed here and it's just a button like Magic Mike shit?
I didn't even notice that.
That's what she said.
Oh,
Yeah.
I missed that
So-
description. I must have skimmed over that one.
I feel like you would have noticed that when she saw him. You know
Right?
what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, they're all like, specifically made. So it's all like
Buttons.
buttons here. So when he takes it off,
Oh.
the wings don't cause a problem. But
It
I'm like,
makes
that would
it no-
be so
they're
annoying to
so
put on.
Big. Those wings are so big.
I would just stay a human. It's just annoying. With the
Yeah,
wings.
I was confused why he was a gargoyle the whole fucking time. And then they have to go into their
What do
stone.
you mean why he's a gargoyle?
I know, but then they do that stone thing, and I'm like, do we need this?
Oh, sporting
I like
events.
the stone thing.
Don't tell me you play Quidditch.
Oh, I
Yeah.
I highlighted that. I always highlight something and put Maria's gonna hate this, and then you always get to it before me. But I always highlight those.
I wrote, can no one help themselves?
Oh my god, that's so funny that I literally.
It's always Quidditch.
My notes are funny.
Yep, I literally.
It's
did
always
that.
Quidditch.
Like, what claws?
I also loved this line. We all burst out in laughter at the same time. Of the three of us triplets, Morgan is the sporty one, and I'm like,
She's
That's how you wrote
Buttercup.
that?
I'm Bubbles, and my other one's Blossom. I can't stand
the
it.
writing is so funny to me. I'm sorry. And then okay, we gotta talk about.
It's campy.
Let's get to the end because I do have questions about the end of the book. I was a little bit confused. So the keeper and then there's a werewolf that comes, and they kind of are trying to get Thea to use her witch powers because she's a white, witch. So she has the
She's
power.
a protector.
She can like help shepherd in them with the.
How convenient.
What are we calling this?
A force field.
Force field. I hate that.
I don't know.
ward.
I don't know.
A ward.
The
Is that what it
wards.
was? They had a
They're
name.
called the wards. Yeah.
With the wards that they use pixie dust for. But so she kind of gets like thrown out of the ward because they're like,
No.
use your power, but
they
she's
asked
not.
her. They asked her to be a bait for the thralls to come out
That's
because
fucked up.
they think that thralls. So at one point, thralls come in through the wards and attack the pixie dust area, and the keeper believes it's because of the witches, even though he's the one that got them there in the first place. So
What are
it's
thralls?
his fault. They are
like
the creatures
demons?
that don't live in havens or in, like their own town, so they're like
I
evil.
don't even know what to like.
Yeah, I couldn't picture them.
I couldn't picture them either.
Couldn't either.
Okay, I'm glad we're on the
It
same
was
page.
it was weirdly described, so I was like, I don't.
One of them had like a human face, I think.
I don't know how to. I think it was a weird way to describe.
Yeah,
them, so
I
I'm just
didn't-
Like,
I
just
didn't
did not retain.
How I pictured them was just big balls of black. With
I pictured him as spider, like big giant.
I pictured them like zombie type things,
Yeah.
like something out of
Interesting
Train
how
to
we all
Busan.
picture him different.
mine was just like a
Busan.
black blob.
Oh, that works.
Well, so the keeper decides to ask her, "Hey, can we use you as like a kind of like a bait thing? We'll be right on the other side of the ward, but you can go through and try to get them to come to you, so we can get one and see whose magic is influencing them. And if it is Wesley, the warlock that at 40 years prior had attacked the town before." So they take her out there, and she realizes that the thralls are coming, and the force field is now up behind her. She can't get back in.
I'm like, you didn't think this through. She's a brand new white witch. Like, she doesn't know what she's
no,
doing.
they know what they were doing. It's
Well,
stupid.
she couldn't get back in,
It was
though.
stupid.
I felt like it was stupid too.
It was
And then
so
Shepard
dumb.
showed up and, like, saved the day, of course.
So my problem at the end of this book is
I don't
that
get it. It's unresolved. So is
that's
there
what
a
I was
book
gonna say.
two?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a book two.
Okay.
But it feels like
But
this-
they didn't come back. They weren't like, well, there's something looming. It
Yeah,
just
this is-
ended.
it just
This
ended
is what
on
a
happened.
happy
you're
ending.
staying here forever. We love you. Also, my other thing. So time and ever works differently. So a day there could be a day in the regular world is like
I think it's like an
3
hour.
months in
Yep.
or an hour, whichever. Time's weird. So you can spend more time in ever than have less time in the human world, right?
Yep.
So these
So
girls
if you're in Ever for 3 months, it's like
A
3
day.
3 hours.
Oh, that's so much like Halloween
in
Town.
world.
they all have their own jobs. I think Morgan does something. I think the other one does flowers, and then our main girl Thea's a cop. She is the furthest thing from a
I
cop
forgot about that.
in any book I have ever read.
I forgot all about that.
I felt offended that she was like, "I'm a cop." Like, bitch, in what world?
I forgot
What
all
investigating
about it.
did you do forever? Like, I
Yup.
didn't see her being scared and shit. I'm like, if you were a true detective cop, like, you'd be in there like swimwear, bro. You'd be trying to save everyone, get guns.
Her
Like,
character
you're-
was just blah.
blah, empty.
Yeah.
Not even Bella. Like,
No.
Bella has a little bit more than that. Bella would do
Yeah.
something because her dad's a cop.
I think I liked it because of the other characters, though.
Morgan
Yeah.
and
Oh, for sure.
Like,
The
I
other
like-
characters
I
are
was
better.
I was interested in the keeper. I was interested in her sister.
I
Keeper was
wanted
cool.
to see something with a keeper and Morgan. I'm sure they're gonna have their own book
Yeah,
at some
the-
point.
Well, this is
Third
how it
book.
this is how it ends. It's like Catherine smiles at me before opening her arms wide. Shall we begin, girls? I don't think I've ever been happier in my life. Happily ever after. Yeah, I think so. But it's like that's not setting me up for another book. That's
At
just
all.
like
But I think that's kind of. So I get what you're saying. That's the style in this like
oh, is it?
genre.
See, I don't know. I don't read
Because
this
you
genre.
do basically
So
like
it could
you-
be a standalone if it wants to be?
yeah, it's a
Ah.
standalone if it wants
But
to be,
they're
but it's
still moving.
but it's a series so that like the storyline goes through the series.
if it's trying to be a
And then
standalone, it
it's
did not
different.
give me the true resolution of a standalone vibe.
Exactly. Like it's
well,
actually
they wrapped up the romance.
so
Yeah,
the
but
next
there's
one will
still
be a different
conflict.
couple.
There's conflict from external factors that will continue to resolve as the series
Right,
goes.
but the romance was resolved from the start. They had no issues.
You're my
She wasn't-
mate.
She might
Okay.
not have stayed.
She was gonna
She
stay.
was gonna stay.
An hour in.
The
she's
second
like,
she
I
got-
like it here.
The second his tongue
And
touched her
tell-
body, she
and
was
tells her
staying.
sisters, "Hey, let's leave our entire lives. Let's leave our whole lives because our parents died 6 months ago. Let's leave our entire lives.
Isn't that
and
wild?
just stay here
Our
in this random
jobs.
ass town."
Yo, if I didn't have to work again, I would be leaving too. I'd
Me
be
too.
like,
I'd be
"Set."
like, what? Okay, I could not.
I could
do
chill
my
here and be a
job.
witch. Sold.
Sick.
I mean, no, I want to be a witch no matter what.
Yeah.
But I just
Like, why does this happen to me? Why can't this happen to me?
what the fuck was that? Where did that come from?
What did you
But
do
like,
to me?
was it not Halloween-esque, town-esque?
Yeah,
Well,
now
the whole
you
thing
say
was
it,
Halloween
I can't
Town.
unsee it.
Halloween Town meets Hocus Pocus meets I'm saying all Maria's
hate
favorite
what
things.
was the other
I
one
hate
that-
that they.
Once
It's all
Upon a
my
Time.
favorite
Once upon a
movies.
time. And when was this written?
Like this year.
Oh, in 007, we gotta throw that in there. And
Oh my
Monster
God.
House.
Yeah, you could see the influences, but I think it's a cute.
Do you know how many times I've had to like beg you to stop talking about the influences, and the second I bring up, like, yeah, I could see it. Okay, moving on.
I said it was like Halloween. I'm the one that's talking about the influences.
It's just
I
so
am
funny.
I am
It's
talking
so
about how
funny.
they're influenced.
Sorry, what were you
I think the
gonna say?
007 one's a little
A stretch.
stretched.
Like
but
how you thought Hunger Games was in fucking
Beep, beep,
Miss
beep,
Bourne?
beep. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, Hunger Games and Mistborn, bitch. All right, maybe we should say, would Kim Possible be better? Dee, 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 dee. Hi, I want to suck your dick. Is that better?
yeah, that was in Kim Possible.
Well, they got the watches, don't they? Okay, so do we have like? Oh, I'll tell you who I thought Shepard reminded me of.
Okay.
Is his name Brad or Brandon? Brad Thor, the one that does the wood chopping on Instagram.
Oh.
The way they describe
Thorin?
him.
Thorin.
Isn't his name
His
Brad?
name is- Yeah, Thorin Bradden. His actual
Dude,
name is Thor.
They actually described him perfectly. I literally wrote down like, oh, it's the wood chopping
Thorin
guy.
Bradley.
Okay, here it is. Ready? He's really fucking tall, well over 6 feet. Dark chocolate waves fall over both ears, and even so longer hair. Even darker eyes meet mine. They crinkle in the corners when he smiles. His features are so sharp they seem chiseled from stone.
I love him.
An angular jawline leads to a perfectly dimpled chin, complete with a 5 o'clock shadow. All I could picture is him.
It's screwed up. How
Right?
much I
Isn't
love
that him? Maybe just if he had a little bit of longer hair.
Okay, so if you want something that's really light and whimsical, and
Goofy.
I think in the same vein of Legends and Lattes,
Not even close, but
but
go off.
with more sex.
Go off. Yeah.
You don't think that this is like a cozy fantasy?
This
It
is
is a
way
cozy
more
fantasy.
goofy than cozy. It's not well written, Erica. I don't know what else to tell you.
That has nothing to do with the genre.
But like Legends and Lattes is so different. Like it's is
You're
it not?
comparing this Legends Latte?
I'm saying
Yeah.
it's a cozy fantasy.
It's not a cozy fantasy.
Same vein.
I didn't feel.
I relate this more to Creature Cafe than I would to Legends Lattes.
Yes.
Thank
Yes,
you.
that's
Maria.
like
Thank you for being
the
a
minute the
sensitive-
bedroom door opened and they act like they did, that's Creature Cafe, baby.
Okay.
There's a tail that goes
Okay.
in the butt, Erica.
That's Creature Cafe.
Okay.
Creature Cafe had the same kind of vibes. They would do
Monsters.
cute
I
stuff
think it's
outside.
cozy. I think it's a cozy.
There's even a
fantasy.
hell.
Cafe has coziness.
I guess.
That's true.
I'm not saying it's
So
a
maybe.
bad thing.
So I guess on the scale of like
It's in the
cozy
middle.
fantasy and cozy erotica monster
it's
porn,
a cozy
Yeah.
erotica.
it's in the middle.
Let's say if
Good
you
luck
want
with that.
if you want something between Legends and Lattes and Creature Cafe, which is probably the widest.
Good,
fucking-
good luck. That's where this book lies.
Imagine seeing that on a timeline. That'd be so funny.
I don't know.
Imagine having the author of Legends and Lattes
Oh my
have
god.
this book next to it comparable to Legends and Lattes.
It's a picture of a gargoyle dick on the front.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Should I play us
I
out
think
like right
it's
on
'cause
his
high?
horns moved. What do you guys think about his horns moving?
That's
was dumb.
typical.
Is that a thing
horns
for
move?
gargoyles? Their horns
No,
move?
I don't think it's just like I think it's just like a thing with anything that has horns.
What?
Yeah, they're horny. They
Yeah,
move around a lot.
move
You
around.
make this joke every time?
Every time.
It's
funny every time.
It's not funny.
Every time.
horn. It's mostly demon horns, and they usually move.
Do they? I
Mhm.
didn't know that. I thought horns just stayed where they are.
Mm-mm.
You would think.
You would think.
No, most horns move.
And then when you touch them, they
Most
get off.
horns move.
Right?
yeah.
Sensitive. What else you
yeah.
got, Maria?
I'm looking through my notes, just seeing.
I think
they
I think
flatten on his skull when he's aroused. That's weird.
yeah. I think
weird.
you just aren't
like
in the.
it reminds me-
monster.
You know,
The voice.
no, I'm not gonna
I
say
swear
that.
that voice is so deep. It sounds like rocks breaking. I said what?
That was a weird one.
That's a really good,
I
good
remember
summary
that
of
one.
how this is written.
What?
I remember reading that one, going, "Rocks breaking."
So that's sexy to
Like-
you? Rocks breaking.
You know what? I read some fucking
I
crazy
just love how
shit.
Erica goes that.
It's
That's
just-
a weird one.
I don't know, man. I know.
I
he's
think
wanting to
at
be
this point,
cozy.
I just like
I'm
read
fucking
stuff
crying.
and I go, "That was weird," and then I just
move on. I
I'm
know. I
literally
know.
crying.
keep my eyes moving.
You know what though? At the end of the day, I had fun, and that's all you could want, right?
That's all you can.
Oh my god, I'm crying from the rocks breaking. Holy shit. Okay. Well, that's Getting It On with Gargoyles. It's exactly what you would expect it to be from a book called Getting It On with Gargoyles. Thank you, everybody. Just keep in mind, this is our spooky season, so we've got lots of spooky books coming up. One that I absolutely...
not that so spooky.
One that I absolutely hated. It's my least favorite book of all time.
You can guess.
One that I absolutely loved, and one that I feel good about. So I'm really excited to talk about them, and I know the girls are too.
Only Kristen's ideas
Opinion
matter here.
matters.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
Yeah.
it.
I'm talking to you out there. It's
All right.
just me and you. Everybody have a really wonderful week. And anything you guys want to add to say goodbye? Let's play them out.
Goodbye.
Rydell
Oh,
High.
we're doing music at the end now. Oh, I hated
That's
that.
Timu, baby.
I hated that.
Bye-bye.
Bye.